Hello students, myself Adil Hussain Sheikh, Assistant Professor, Automobile Department, LJIT, and welcome to the lecture series of Automotive and Combustion Engine Technology. As we had a discussion regarding turbocharged system in direct injection with specified spark injection body. Okay, in this particular chapter we had a discussion regarding introduction sessions as well as we had a discussion regarding problem associated with turbocharge for high specific output. Okay, and we had also discussion regarding turbocharged body, supercharged body and basic concept of turbocharged systems as well as supercharged systems and why turbocharged systems implemented nowadays in DI engines as well as SI engines, particularly in today's era. Okay, and in previous lectures we had also discussion regarding historical background of turbocharged body as well as we had also some discussion regarding problem facing turbocharged systems in SI engines like mechanical loading, thermal loading, turbo lag, as well as we had a discussion regarding so many other parameters of particular systems. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss regarding knock and abnormal combustion in turbocharged body as well as we have also discussion regarding emission coming out from the turbocharged systems and which parameters we have to look for particular designing of turbocharged for particular SI engines. And in this particular lecture we have also discussion regarding advantages of combined direct injection systems as well as challenges associated with turbocharged body in SI engines. So in upcoming lectures we had a discussion regarding basic problems, challenges and advantages of turbocharge in SI engines. So let us discuss further. Now first thing is that which are the problems and challenges associated with turbocharged body. So first one is the mechanical loading. We had already discussed regarding it, which are the basic criteria of mechanical components and which are the basic design consideration regarding a turbocharged body. Now we had also considered thermal loading. Like thermal loading we have a discussion regarding refractoriness of the material, then fatigue failure, creep, various types of analysis regarding thermal loading, and we had also discussion regarding turbo lag system in particularly turbocharged systems. Now today we are going to discuss regarding knock and abnormal combustion of the particular process and last one is the emission systems regarding associate problem with turbocharged body. So let us start with knock and abnormal combustion. So we have already know about knock and detonation of CI engines as well as SI engines. See, basically knock is occur in diesel engines, but while we are using turbo in SI engines, there are possible chances of knocking in SI engines also. And what is abnormal combustion? The combustion which is not take part in particular combustion process known as a abnormal combustion. As well, we can say that abnormal combustion have variation values of pressure as well as temperature while we are using combustion process, right? So basically knock and abnormal combustion reduce the efficiency of the engines. Efficiency in terms of what? Efficiency in terms of the indicated power, right? So let us discuss first one as the knocking types. Basically there are two types of knocking. First one is the destructive knocking and second thing is the non-destructive knocking. Non-destructive knocking means it is not taking part in to destruct the engine components like valve, cylinder wall, piston crown as well as valve face, valve seats, and in destructive knocking we are considering like destruction of valves, combustion body as well as block arrangements as well as we can say that there is a distortion in piston crown also. So let us discuss phenomena of non-destructive auto-ignition. What is the meaning of auto-ignition? Auto-ignition means the charge auto-ignite in combustion chambers. While in auto-ignition we are facing non-destructive knocking. Non-destructive knocking take part in combustion process but it is less effective to distort cylinder block as well as cylinder parts. Okay. Second thing is the destructive knocking. Destructive knock is directly take part in the combustion process and with the help of destructive knocking we can say that wear and tear possibilities increase in particularly combustion chambers and it will directly reduce the indicated power. It means says that it directly reduces the overall efficiency of the combustion process. And considering the destructive knocking, we have to design all the parameters of the combustion chambers like piston crown, cylinder block, cylinder walls, as well as cylinder pistons, as well as crank, cam and gudgeon pins, etc., etc. Now, effect of mechanical loading on knocking. We had already discussion regarding mechanical loading, right? And mechanical loading is directly concerned with the knocking parameters. If we cannot take consideration of design while designing the piston and other parameters, then at that time we have to face knocking phenomenon in particularly SI and CI engines while using turbo. And most important thing, a particular session of the end gas phenomenon, right? So what is end gases? The gases which are in combustion chamber after combustion process and directly scavenge with exhaust gases, right? It is known as the end gas, and the phenomenon occurs during this system is known as the end gas phenomenon, right? See, end gas phenomenon is directly concerned with the back pressure also, right? All we know that about back pressure. Back pressure, it directly affect combustion chambers and coming air fuel, right? And it also decrease the overall air fuel efficiency for upcoming volume. We can say that it's a volumetric efficiency. So we have to consider effect of end gas, and we have to consider all end gas phenomenon while designing turbo from particularly SI body. And also we can say that in this particular turbo system, we are also looking for a turbo expansion system. Okay. So what is turbo expansions? Turbo expansions means meet the requirements of the particular airflow charge according to the combustion process. In turbo expansion system, we can get particular requirement regarding to the turbo expansion process. Okay. Now let us discuss with the help of this figure. In figure you can see that from right to left there is a one turbine, and in turbine you can see the EBP, right? Exhaust back pressure, right? So with the help of exhaust back pressure, right, turbine will run, and with the help of this turbine, compressor rotate, and compressor will helpful to charge the coming air fuel ratio. Coming air fuel ratio is directly concerned with the intercooler. In this particular figure, you can see X, Y and Z, right? So in this X, Y and Z, we can maintain the entropy of the system, right? Entropy of the systems, it directly depends upon its efficiency, right? So in this particular X, Y and Z system, right, we have to maintain entropy level of the particular charge. And last thing is the turbo expander device. Turbo expander device means we can also say that it's related with the energy recovery unit. In this turbo expanding system, we can get proper airflow regarding our combustion process, and this proper airflow very well maintained in plenum chamber. In very exact to turbo expander units, there is a plenum chamber. Plenum chamber maintain the upcoming air pressure and temperature concerned with the combustion process, right? And this plenum chamber direct the coming out airflow to the engine. With the help of this schematics, we can say that this is the turbo expansion from the turbocharging unit using in the SI engines, right? We can say that with the help of turbo expander, we can maintain the level of the energy with particular turbo units. So we can get better air charge from upcoming air fuel. See, in particular intercooler section, there is a density difference, right? So in density difference, there might be a chances of we can get a less density compared to our actual requirement. So in turbo expander unit, we can get a proper density level according to our requirements, right? And in this particular energy recovery unit, we can get proper energy requirement with the help of electrical devices, mechanical devices, as well as we can say that with the help of hydraulic devices, we can get proper energy recovery, which will losses up to the flow from the compressor to the intercooler, right? So this is the main advantage of the turbo expansion systems. Okay. In upcoming lectures, we are also going to discuss regarding, we can say that we can filtration of exhaust while using turbocharged systems. We can also discuss regarding challenges and problem associated with turbocharged systems, and in upcoming lectures we are also going to discuss regarding advantages of turbocharged, in particularly in SI engines, because when we are using turbo in particularly SI engines, at that time we have to consider so many things like injection pressure, ignition quality, as well as we have to consider airflow ratio, and most important things we have to consideration we are taking to consideration in exhaust emission standards, right? So in upcoming lectures we are going to discuss regarding all these particular things. Okay, till date, stay home and thank you.